guys. Okay. Are we on? Okay. Welcome back to Tales of Olympus, the podcast where we dive into the wildest, most dramatic, and sometimes just downright unbelievable stories from Greek mythology. I'm your host, Ariel, and today we are officially kicking off our brand new European tour. That is right, as I have said before, I have packed up my bags, left Asia behind, and flown across the world to a completely new continent. But I am keeping the exact country a total secret for now. I'm planning on revealing the name after I get back to Taiwan, so, stay tuned. Alright, so, like the one we did with Japan, I'm going to give you some major clues to see if you can guess exactly where I am broadcasting from. Alright, clue number 1. I am currently standing high up on a massive, towering green mountain range. The air up here is so fresh and crisp, and the view of the valleys below looks like a real-life postcard. And I can see a lot of mountains. Very famous mountains, in fact. Alright, clue number 2. I am here celebrating a very special family birthday. My absolutely adorable little cousin Alpine just turned 3 a few days ago. Happy 3rd birthday, Alpine! He is running around on the mountain grass looking absolutely adorable. Wait a minute. Alpine? Alpine. Like the Alps. From my hotel, I can see the Matterhorn from here. A horn that matters. Okay. That's it for this, and if you want a few more legendary clues about my itinerary, get this. Today I also saw ice rivers. Massive glaciers. And just a few days later, I'm going to be hiking right on top of those frozen rivers and scaling giant mountains. And if you listen closely right now, you can hear my absolute favorite clue echoing all around me. A few days ago, I went up into this open field on the mountain, hiking, and there are literally hundreds of cows roaming completely free everywhere. And I am playing the actual audio I recorded as our background noise for this part. You can hear the beautiful echoing chime of cowbells ringing out all across the valley. It sounds like a musical masterpiece played by Apollo's own, music. Your heads off, I spent the whole time watching awesome movies and playing games on the flight. And I was living my best life the entire time. And it was so awesome traveling to Europe. The last time I came, I was probably 1 year old or 2 years old. And, yeah. Talk about an epic journey fit for a demigod. Also, drop your ultimate guesses about where I landed in the comments in our YouTube channel or the podcast or our official subreddit. And since I am surrounded by giant peaks, gorgeous summer trails, and upcoming ice adventures, an altitude that will make even the son of Zeus dizzy, it is only right that today we dive into the epic mountain myths. Alright, in Greek mythology, mountains aren't just giant piles of dirt and stone. They are divine penthouses, ancient battlefields, and sometimes they're literally alive. So grab your hiking boots, strap on your pack, and let's climb into the mythosphere. Alright, before we start the episode, I want to say something that is amazing. I mean, since I live in Taiwan, which is part of Asia, I don't really get to see Greek mythology in the buildings. Well, sometimes in museums, yes, but not like, a random mall has a statue or something. But I've been traveling these past few days, and I've just been seeing these connections everywhere. Like, on the streets, there's literally a giant fountain of Nike. And on the building of the hotel, I see a giant statue of Athena and Hera. And it's just honestly been so amazing. I've seen Hermes on the banks, and even much, much more. I've seen Zeus on a mountaintop. Alright, let's get back to the story. Alright, when we look at a mountain today, we see rocks, trees, and maybe a hiking trail. But what do the ancient Greeks see back in the day? Before Zeus, before the Titans, even before the world had a sky, Gaia, Mother Earth, gave birth to Ariel. The Ariel are the primordial gods of mountains. There were 10 of them in total, and each one was the living spirit of a specific mountain area in Greece, like Mount Olympus, Mount Othrys, and Mount Athos. These guys didn't hang out in human form talking or gossiping like the regular Olympian gods. They just sat there, being giant, ancient, immovable mountains. But they had massive power. If a god got mad, do you know what would happen? The Ariel could literally shake, trigger rock slides, giant ones, or swallow up the earth. It's pretty crazy to think that the giant peak I'm staring at right now might just be an ancient primordial god taking a multi-thousand-year nap. Speaking of all these free-roaming mountain cows and their bells, did you know that Hermes actually invented the very first cowbell? In the myths, after he stole Apollo's cattle, he felt a little bad, so he crafted a special lyre out of a tortoise shell and gave it to Apollo to make up for it. Ever then, a budding bromance started. But to keep track of his own regular cows, the ancient Greeks started tying bronze bells around their necks. I bet the ancient Greek cows weren't hanging out on gorgeous mountains listening to the symphony of bells like the ones right here behind me, though. But there's one last thing I need to talk about in this episode, and this is the ultimate fortress. You can't talk about mountains in Greek myths without talking about the ultimate real estate war, the Titanomachi. We did this story like when we just started the pod, and my voice was like so cute, and I was like, "Hey guys, welcome back." But anyways, go listen to that episode. I go into all the detailed storytelling of the Titanomachi. But for you people that might have not heard it before, this was the massive 10-year war between the Titans and the Olympian gods. And guess what? Both sides picked a giant mountain as their personal fortress. The Titans took Mount Othrys, which was their dark, brooding stronghold. You might have heard this from Percy Jackson. Meanwhile, Zeus and his siblings set a camp on Mount Olympus, iconic, the highest and most beautiful mountain in Greece. The Titans would rip giant rocks off the top of Mount Othrys and hurl them across Greece like dodgeballs. Zeus would stand on the highest peak of Mount Olympus, completely surrounded by clouds, and throwing bolts, lightning bolts that literally shook the earth. The sky was filled with flying boulders and lightning. It was basically the most intense, high-stakes game of King of the Hill in cosmic history, and Team Olympus totally won the ultimate penthouse view. Eventually, the wars ended, but the mountains stayed dangerous because Zeus started using them as the ultimate heavy blankets for monsters. Take Typhon, for example. He was the most terrifying 100-headed, fire-breathing storm monster Gaia created. He was so scary that most of the gods turned into animals and ran away to Egypt. That's also how some myths say that how the Egyptian myths, the gods of Egyptian myths, came to be. But Zeus and his siblings stood his ground on Mount Olympus and fought him in a massive wrestling match. When Zeus finally knocked Typhon out, I'll just pass the details because it's a little disgusting. If you want to hear the complete story, as I said, listen to the episode where I talk about the Titanomachi. Alright, he dragged Typhon over to Sicily, picked up an entire mountain called Mount Etna, and threw it right on top of him. Now Typhon is trapped under the weight of the whole mountain forever. Every time he gets angry or tries to shift his weight, the mountain shakes with earthquakes. And when he breathes fire, lava shoots out of the top. So next time you see a volcano or feel a tremor, just remember it's probably a giant mythological monster throwing a total temper tantrum. And that's pretty much it for today's episode. And I'll see you next week. I'll be updating a few of my travel logs. And maybe if I have the chance, Alpine might come on the show again. But he's really busy. Like, he's eating and screaming his head off. So, well, wish me luck. And as always, my name is Ariel. I'm 11 years old. And I will see you next episode. Bye!